Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Keelan and I am a mum of two. I live in Belfast in Northern Ireland and I like to make videos about just our lives, like what we get up to, nature, like art, books, because I write books, and just thoughts that I'm having and things that are relevant at the moment. And I've been thinking more and more recently about having a no-buy year, and I'm thinking about trying to do a no-buy month in October to see how I can manage with that first, because I haven't tried to do it before. I've had no-buy days and weekends, but never longer than that. Not intentionally anyway, like maybe during COVID whenever it was easier to not spend money for a while because you couldn't go anywhere or do anything. I do generally try to be quite frugal in the way we live, and like I'm always looking out for free activities with the kids, and I feel like I'm quite good at food budgeting. Like I have a kind of fixed amount that we spend on food every week. I like to cook from scratch, and like a lot of the things that I make are cheap meals that are like easy to produce a lot of, and there's always leftovers and stuff we can use for lunches. But I feel like in other ways I'm not very good with money, and I kind of have cycles of being really frugal and saving money, and when I decide that I'm going to do that and be strict with myself, I can do it really well, but then I kind of quickly fall out of that and into a pattern of spending more and accumulating stuff. And recently I've been trying to do a lot of decluttering because the amount of stuff in our house just stresses me out, and I know a lot of it is because I've got kids, and kids just seem to, I don't know what it is, but even if I clean my kids' rooms, like the next day they look the same again. But I know that I also am guilty of like clutter. And actually I have an example. I really hate this ironing board. Like every day I use it for stacking stuff that I have to deal with but haven't had a minute to sort out. So I've got laundry to put away. I had my sewing box out, but I haven't finished sewing yet because I was fixing a couple of things. I fixed my daughter's leggings yesterday, but I still have to sew name tags and stuff. There's like paper there all the time from my kids drawing, and like I don't know what to do with their drawings when they're done because I feel mean throwing them away. But we already have a huge chest thing on top of the cupboard, and it's like filled to bursting with their artwork. And my laptop is always charging over here, and I am doing crochet, so I tend to do that when I'm sitting at the table, so I kind of just keep it handy. I also have a cross stitch thing I'm working on, and then the iron, which is actually the only thing that belongs on the ironing board. So like there's areas of the house that aren't too bad, but then there's areas like that just get so cluttery, and no matter how many times I clean it and put it away, it just comes back again, and I really want to kind of target them. And I feel like decluttering and trying not to bring stuff into my house goes along with like not spending money, so I'm trying to kind of do both at the moment. And I just want to like be more conscious of what I buy, because I've been watching a lot of videos about consumerism and the environment, and it's made me feel so guilty, and like I want to change the way that I go about things. I do tend to do a lot of secondhand shopping, which I know probably isn't as bad, but it's just that I don't know, I think ads get to me, and also I have a habit of, if I'm having a bad day, I'll try to make myself feel better by buying something, or like going for coffee all the time. And I know that like there's worse things, like there's more expensive things I could be doing, but I just don't want to feel like I'm dependent on stuff like that to feel okay. So I have been trying to break my coffee habit a bit recently, and I've been making my own at home. I love my coffee pot, like I couldn't live without it. I always have my soy milk. I got a milk frother that's had so much use since I got it. It was like one of the best purchases ever. And I like to have coffee syrup in the house so I can make it taste like the same as in a coffee shop. But there's just something about going to a coffee shop and sitting it in. It's like a change of environment, and there's like a buzz there, and I kind of like, I feel like it's a good place to write, so I'm almost paying for the experience rather than just the coffee. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. And I just like, I don't know, but I feel bad about it sometimes because this week when the girls were at a club in the evening, I decided to go for a cup of coffee, and I went to Starbucks and I got a pumpkin latte, like a small one of it, and it was £4.75, and I was just like kind of shocked at how much it was for one cup of coffee. And it wasn't even nice. Like, usually I like Starbucks, but I don't know what was wrong with it this time. I can't have dairy, so like I usually get soy milk and like the vegan whipped cream, and I got it without the whipped cream thinking it would be cheaper, and it actually wasn't, and it was like, I don't know, it had too much of a kick to it with the pumpkin without the cream. So I realised like my coffee at home's actually got better, to the point where it might be better than a lot of cups of coffee that I have in cafes, and it feels like a waste of money now. Yeah, but I feel like I need to, I don't know if I can like stop myself going like ever, because it is like, I think of it as like one of my favourite things to do, but I do know that I need to like go less often, and I am working on that. But then that's only one small area, and I feel like there's a lot of things that I need to like stop doing. I will have phases where I don't buy like anything, and I'm really good at being frugal, but then as soon as I allow myself to go to a shop, it can very quickly kind of descend into this like chaotic shopping where I'm not keeping track of what I'm buying. Like, I almost think I have more money than I have. I kind of get addicted to the rush that you get whenever you buy something and bring something new home, and then I do know that from doing it lots of times that doesn't really last. Like, there might be something I've bought where I think that was a good purchase because I have used it a lot, but after the first, well, with me it's mostly clothes, where that buzz does go away because it just becomes part of your wardrobe. It's not like something new and exciting. And yeah, I want to kind of tackle that because I feel like I've gone down this slippery slope of like, I've just got into a habit of shopping, and I think it's really easy when my kids are back in school to end up going shopping because I have to get one thing and then one thing will turn into 30, especially places like Home Bargains and B&M, because it seems cheap and the individual items in it are, but then when you get to the till, I always find that I never spend less than 30 quid whenever I go to pay in Home Bargains, even if I went in for one thing, because you kind of look around, get ideas of things that it feels like you need when you're there, and it feels like it's things that will make your life easier and they're convenient. But then whenever I have phases where I ban myself from going to Home Bargains and B&M, I manage just fine without it. Like, it's not like the world falls apart when I don't buy those things, and if I didn't know they were there, I wouldn't go looking for them. So yeah, I just think it's wasteful, and the stuff doesn't tend to last that long unless it's something that you can consume, like food and like beauty products and stuff like that. I find the quality's not great. I like their candles because I think they're quite good value, but I've been trying to be good in that area. I actually did buy a Halloween candle, and I've been deliberating about whether or not it's too early to light it. I've saved it so far. It's like a witch's brew or something. I had like this kind of addiction to buying wax melts. I don't know why, but every time I went to a craft fair, I would come home with wax melts, and maybe it's because they were cheaper than candles, so it felt like I was being more restrained, but I was still like finding all these scents that I really liked and getting drawn in by them. But then it got to the point where I had this huge collection of wax melts and I had too many to even use them, so I decided to ban myself from buying them until I used all of them, and I've actually nearly worked through all of them now, because when I went to get some out of the box, I have the other day, there were only like 2 left, and there was a time when there were probably like 30. So I'm glad that I actually have managed to stick to that. But I find with like budgeting, if I don't put fixed kind of rules on myself, I very quickly can fall into bad habits, and like one purchase can turn into 20 really quickly. and I think it's just like I'm trying to get that high from buying stuff, like, and I really want to tackle that because I just don't think it's good, and it's like instant gratification all the time, but it's also like momentary, because as soon as the thing becomes not new, it's not fun anymore, and then I'm left with all this stuff that I have nowhere to put it, and then that stresses me out and takes up loads of time, and I have to spend more time cleaning than I want to. Like, I don't really enjoy cleaning. I kind of have to force myself to do it. Sometimes if I'm in the right mood, I like decluttering and like organizing, but I don't love cleaning, so I don't want to have to spend a lot of my life doing it, and I feel like recently it's taking away from other projects that I would like to do. Like, maybe I've been using it as a way to avoid things as well, because I've been feeling kind of lacking in confidence with art and like writing and everything, but I just feel like it's not, I don't know, like cleaning is one of those things where it might look good right after you've done it, but if you have kids, especially kids like mine, it'll be undone by the time they get home, and then it just feels like you wasted your day. So I don't really want to spend my whole life cleaning, and I feel like the no buy idea could help me like get away from having the need to do that, because I'd have less stuff to clean, and if I'm not bringing stuff into the house, then I can work on decluttering the stuff I already have, and it won't also be like one thing goes out, a new thing comes in, because I do think I have a habit of doing that too. Because recently I was like organising my wardrobe, and I sold a few things on Vinted and like donated some stuff, but it's got to the point now where it isn't stressful opening my wardrobe, because at that point I couldn't close the door properly. It was all stuffed in and like crammed together. You needed like 2 hands to like part everything to get stuff in and out, which always stresses me out, and you couldn't really see what was in there either. And then I was keeping stuff because I do technically wear it, but then it's like, if I'm only wearing it once a year or even twice a year or 5 times a year, is it worth having it there hanging in my wardrobe, stressing me out, whenever like I could just have pieces in my wardrobe that I want to wear all the time. Like, I know I was wearing this outfit in the last video. I have washed since then. Like, it was like a week ago, but like I want to have things where that I instinctively kind of grab for, and I want to wear it and know it feels comfortable and good, rather than things that I'm not 100% on, but I just wear them now and again, but they're taking up too much space, and then I can't use my wardrobe. But as soon as I had emptied it out, and it was like, it felt like I cleared out about 1/3 of what was in there, and now I can easily get clothes in and out, but my brain immediately went to, oh, now there's room for more. And then I kind of had to check myself with that, because I was like, why do I think as soon as I've cleared out that it's like creating room that I need to fill with more stuff? And I want to tackle that as well, because I just think it's not a good way to look at things, and that's how I fall back into having a really like crammed wardrobe again, because then I feel like, okay, now it's time to replace everything I've got rid of. So I just want to break that, and I want to see if I can do the no buy thing. And I think before I start, I need to make like rules and write them out, so I know like what I know clearly in my own mind before I start it, what I am allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. I don't necessarily think a no buy means that you have to get rid of everything. Like, I feel like you have to have some joy in your life. Like, for example, like I'm not going to get rid of my swimming membership, because we use it like all the time and it makes me feel happy, and like I might allow myself to have like a cup of coffee in a like coffee shop once a week, rather than like just when I feel like it. And I'll allow myself to replace products that I run out of in that time that like I need, or like things like that the kids need as well, like anything that they need for school or clothes wise. And then I know I'm gonna have to make an exception for gifts, because especially with Christmas coming up, like I can't just not buy anyone gifts. And yeah, I'm just trying to think of ways to like give people gifts that are like more like maybe experiences, or like things that they can eat and stuff like that, rather than just random stuff that they might not want. Yeah, but I'm just thinking about all of these things at the moment, and I've kind of been putting off starting just because I want to be clear before I do about what I am going to allow myself to do and not. And I've been watching videos on no buys to kind of inspire myself, and I'm recognizing like things in myself already. Like, I get this feeling sometimes when I'm on my own and the kids are at school and my partner's at work, and I'll think, okay, now is the time when I need to go to the shop to get the things that it's harder to get when everyone's with me, because I know that going shopping with kids is like a bad idea because they just talk you into stuff, and mine just like to add things to the trolley and increase the bill. But the problem with that is that unless I go in and out, get one item and don't allow myself to look at the shelves, like, I will come out with all these things that I think we need or that might be useful in the future, and it all adds up, and I just want to stop doing that. And after I walked the dog this morning, I came home and I made myself a latte, and I need to clean and stuff like that. I might try and do some writing as well. I had this feeling like, okay, now I need to go and get whatever stuff we need for like over the weekend while everybody's at school and it's easy to go. And I also like found out that there was a farmer's market that's on a few miles away from where we live. I'm still torn about whether or not to go, because part of me is like, I want to try to support local and buy like products that we'll use, that it's like I could get some fruit and veg and stuff like that. But I've already done our food shop for the week, and then the other part of my head is like, you don't actually need to go, and you're just going to end up spending like 30 quid on random vegetables that, yes, you'll use them, but they're probably like 10 times more expensive than what you got in the shop. So I'm trying to kind of like decide what to do, but I think part of my brain's resisting going now, because I'm just thinking this is just another excuse to go out and spend money. Like, even if it's not at a shop that's filled with like random crap that is going to break in a week, and it's stuff that you would actually use and like enjoy, do I need to go? And yeah, I was at a like cooking demonstration recently for the autumn fair in Botanic Gardens in Belfast, and the people, it was like two chefs that were making a dish, and they had got like scallops to make with risotto, and they were talking about the scallops and how they got them from St. George's Market, which I really like, but I find when we go there it's really expensive. And like, I have bought fruit and veg there before, and cheese and stuff like that for people, but it ends up being so dear. But anyway, they were saying that it was something like 70p a scallop, and how that was really good value, and they had bought like 50 scallops or something for the sake of the demonstration. And then I was sitting doing the like maths in my head, and I was like, that is so expensive compared to like if I bought like a whole chicken and just made it last for a few meals. And I know that scallops, like, they're local, it's fresh, like seafood, and like it's kind of like a treat, and also like it's probably better because for the environment to not be getting stuff from overseas. But at the same time, I just thought like that's really expensive for one meal, and it sort of felt equal to eating out. And then I don't know, maybe it's okay to do that stuff sometimes and reserve it for whenever you like want a treat, or you're having people over for dinner or something. But like, I sometimes find that going to markets, even though it's for things that are useful, you can get sucked into spending money there just as much as anywhere else. So it's like, even if it's a better reason to spend money, you're still spending money, and the whole point of this is that I'm trying to stop spending money. So yeah, you can let me know what you think about that, and let me know if anybody else is thinking about trying a no buy, and if I do it, I'll try and like document it as I go along, and tell you what works and for me, and like how it's going. So yeah, I'll see you soon, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll make another video in a little while, and have a great day. Bye.